Well, we're finally wrapping up the Garfield videos, but instead of a comic review or a character spotlight, we're actually going to talk about some really weird crap. And luckily, this is Garfield, one of the weirdest fandoms I have ever seen, and that is saying something. Today, we're going to be talking about 5 creepy and surprisingly real Garfield stories. Starting off pretty tame to, okay, what the hell is going on here? Beginning with Garfield's Dying, Lost Media. This is pretty low on the list because it's actually fairly new. At least to me, this was the first I've heard of it. Apparently, Jim Davis wrote a Garfield comic strip that depicted a story where Garfield is dying. It's not played for laughs, and meant to paint a sadder picture on previous Garfield stories. Now again, this was the first I heard about it, so I'm not sure if this is just some Reddit post that's just trying to get some popularity, or if this is very real. I would say it's unlikely given how dark it is, but Jim Davis did write a story where one of Garfield's 9 lives went nuts and killed an old lady, so who knows. Still, it is pretty fascinating, and I do like Lost Media, so I'll actually keep an eye on this, and if I do find out more, I'll update you guys. The next one is a real doozy. I'm kind of surprised people went for this. Lasagna Cat's Sex Results. For this one, I'm gonna let my buddy Lunar talk about it. Take it away, buddy.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Biz. The story I'm going to talk about involves the channel known as Lasagna Cat. It's known for reenacting the Garfield strip as a live-action video, then showing a bizarre twist, usually towards the end. The problem here is their latest video is 4 hours and 40 minutes of a sex survey, or rather, sex survey results, as the title suggests. And dear Lord, it quickly delves into don't hug me, I'm scared territory with the amount of, shall we say, less than safe for work elements, up to and including a birth into a toilet. I am not going to elaborate further, mostly due to standards and practices. That being said, this is some of the most disturbing elements I have ever seen in a Garfield anything, honestly. The fact that most of the people doing the sex survey seemed to understand it was not necessarily about Garfield, but some of them really gave some rather vivid and detailed answers in regards to what they would like to do to Garfield and Odie. Thankfully, John was involved in some of those, though unfortunately not in the way you might expect. So yeah, that's that. Thank you for having me, Biz, I think.
Yikes. Anyway, moving on, we got Garfield Carjacking. In 1987, they released a Garfield plushie that you could stick to your car window. It was cute, and a lot of people seemed to love it. Maybe a bit too much, as it actually started a craze where people would go in, shatter the car windows, and steal them. Just a toy. They didn't take money, they didn't take any goods that were in the car, they just took a plushie. The only other thing that they might have taken would occasionally be just other decorations that were on the dashboard. And mind you, this was not a rare item either. The decoration was apparently just 20 bucks. The damages it would put on the cars would cost more than that. Just to show you that Garfield fandom was crazy back then. Next up, we have Garfield Sex Ride. Yeah, Joe, you can cover this one.
Hey kids, here be your friend Joker. I have a horror story for you all. Remember, if your parents are from Indiana, there's a high chance that they met at certain place, a Garfield tunnel of love, and in that tunnel, lasagna was made. Your lasagna. Yeah, kids, remember, there's a fucked up theme park of Garfield where people go there and fuck while in the middle of the tunnel of love. That place has created so many fucking monstrosities, some of them are still on Reddit. So yeah, remember, Garfield is the ultimate aphrodisiac.
Man, pretty sure that created a new fetish. Anyway, let's wrap it all up with the Garfield Beach Mystery. Though calling this a mystery is a bit misleading as, well, they did eventually solve the case, granted decades later, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Back in the 1980s in Brittany, France, the locals would have a strange occurrence happen for 30 years, as they found mass quantities of Garfield-shaped phones landing on the shores. No one knew where they came from. Some believed it was part of a prank, others believed it might have been some sort of art piece, others believed it was some kind of protest. Either way, it led to haunting imagery, especially since a lot of them were such wear and tears, and it would sometimes take years to actually find, so they become embedded in parts of the beach, leading to campaigns to solve the mystery and creating anti-littering laws to avoid this repeating. receding. And though the beaches have mostly been cleaned up, many were still wondering where they came from and why this was happening. But 30 years later, in 2019, we finally got our answer. Turned out this was actually part of a shipping container that lost its cargo. Now, why it took so long for them to find out, most likely is that they were trying to avoid any fines, or they just lost track of it. But even though the mystery has been solved, this still lives in the Garfield fandom as one of the strangest occurrences ever. The fact that it became such a bizarre story in pop culture history does say a lot. Either way, does remind me why I'm not a beach guy. Well, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell for updates. Thank you, Joe and Lunar, for guest starring. Check out their channels. Follow me on Blue Sky, and I'll see you later.